Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudi. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatas Bhagavatir Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Omagnanatimidandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. Vichaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Swayam Rupa Kadamim Dadati Swaram Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gurun Vaishnavans Nirupam Sadhagatam Sagana Raghunatham Sadvaitam Savadutam Pajana Saitam Krishna Viradha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishnu Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Kantana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vishnu Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Hari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devasatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Advaita Gadadhara Shavasana Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Okay. Where did we stop? Stopped in verse. Yeah, verse 5. Verse 5, we read that the question and answers that pertain to Krishna, meant substance of all Vedic inquiries, and only such questions will actually completely satisfy the self. They're all. So when we say happiness, the happiness of the material world is very limited, partial, incomplete. So that is why it doesn't make us. And also, it's not of our nature, because as Atma we are all spiritual, and this material happiness is not of our nature, our quality. So it doesn't really make us happy. So when we engage, when we ask questions about Krishna, then we actually we experience complete satisfaction. God said that the whole world is full of questions and answers, but we should ask questions about Krishna. Get answers about Krishna. That will make us happy. Okay, now this section is very, very important, upcoming 5 verses. This is called Paro Dharma, supreme occupation. We're all engaged in dharma. Now today let's understand what is Paro Dharma. Okay. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yito bhaktirradhokshate ahaitukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. And so previous verse said that if you ask questions about Krishna, that completely satisfies. Now here it's being described what is the Paro Dharma. Paro Dharma. Paro Dharma means supreme occupation. Prabhupada has translated dharma as occupation, vritti. So we'll understand why. Supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service. Transcendental Lord, such devotional service must be unmotivated, uninterrupted, completely satisfy the soul. I mean, this is like the heart of bhakti. This verse is the heart of bhakti. In the sense that people, Prabhupada in purport says that, people, why do they do vritti? Vritti, they do because they want sense gratification. They want sense gratification, right? No, but that's not paradharma. That is not the actual dharma. So the actual dharma, which is the supreme occupation, meaning it should supersede all other types of occupation. Somebody might be going as a Kshatriya, a Brahmana, he is doing Patan, studying scriptures, teaching scriptures, doing yajna, accepting charity, giving charity. Like that, Kshatriya, protection, Vaishya, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya, Shudra, assisting all of that. Now, this is Varnashrama Dharma occupation to maintain the body. This occupation is just to maintain the body. But that is not the complete whole and soul of our existence. So the Paro Dharma is devotional service. Paro Dharma is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service. Now, this can be understood in two ways. Actually, in the next verse, it says that occupation doesn't enable us to increase attraction to hearing about Krishna, then that dharma has to be given up. So it's very strong. I mean, these verses are very, very strong. When I first, when I read them, then, I was contemplating about this, saying that then I'm not engaged in paradharma. When I was working and I was thinking, this is aparadharma, right? It's not supreme. It's low class dharma I'm engaged in, because my work was, making it difficult for me to practice now. And this is a big guidance for those who are very serious about bhakti. Of course, I mean, we have to take care of our material duties. See, if you reach that stage where we want to just give up our material duties and 24 hours engage in bhajan, that's a very exalted, very, very high state, right? State of consciousness, wherein we are literally disconnected from this material world. We should not fool ourselves into this, as in so which means that we should be really completely disconnected with everything material. It's a very high, tall order. But for most of the people, the material duties, that is why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also talks about karma yoga. He says, do your work, offer the results to me, because you also you need to do work, because you have to engage yourself, you have to earn some way of, living. And also, I was talking to Ramesh Prabhu the other day and saying that, we cannot simply give up duty without having devotional activities. And so for a human being, we have to be active. We need some occupation. We need an occupation. And this occupation is what? Not just working outside. This is as per Varnashrama Dharma. As per Varnashrama, Purusha, men have Varna Dharma, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and women have Stri Dharma. Stri Dharma is a full-time job, just in case anybody thought it's a part-time job. And those who are engaged, how full-time it is. And it's full-time, and people now, women who actually are working outside are doing double job, two jobs for one salary. And just imagine how stressful it can be. Right, and obviously, ultimately, one job we will drop, or we will not do it properly. So we should understand whatever we are doing, actual dharma is loving devotional service. And see, Prabhupada, bhakti, whenever the word bhakti is used, actually bhakti only means loving devotional service. Bhakti doesn't mean time pass devotional service or casual devotional. Loving devotional service means we should have feelings towards Krishna. We should have love and affection towards Krishna. And when we have love and affection towards a person, then automatically we will say, I want to give time to this person. I want to spend time to do whatever it takes to please this person. The loving devotional service means that first we have to give time. And if you are so busy, people are so busy. So busy with what? With ahara, nidra, bhaya, maituna. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's all we are busy in material world, Kali Yuga. So if you are busy in that, then where is there time for loving devotional service? Even we are doing devotional service, we are like, oh my God, okay, I have just exactly 1.5 hours to do chanting. Okay, let me finish. So we'll always be engaged in finishing mode. Let me finish my work. Let me finish my activities for bhakti. And then, we finish chanting and then we tie up the chanting bag and put it up. And some don't even have time to do 16 rounds chanting. I mean, like this is like breathing. 16 rounds chanting is literally equivalent or more important than breathing. Even if you don't breathe, it's okay. But we should chanting of Krishna, Hare Krishna. But we don't have time. We don't have time. And I keep telling a lot of people come and say, no, I have so. I said, see, it's a choice. You have to make a choice. Krishna has given us freedom. Okay, some people have inevitable circumstances. Very few who have absolutely, they have to work, they have to take care. Financial situation is so tough. And Krishna will ease out all this over a period of time. But at the current moment, when we come into Krishna consciousness, some of these things, everything is pressure. Work pressure, home pressure, everything is pressure. And it becomes inevitable. They'll have to somehow, stretch, manage. But others, by choice, they want to do other duties. They want to take up work outside and also manage family. So, especially for women, I keep saying this, that you have 100% opportunity to become fully Krishna conscious very early in your life. Men are, obligated to work and earn money for the house. So they have to asatsanga, engage with people outside, inevitable. You have to do that. But irrespective whether, whatever anybody is doing, we should have time for Krishna. Otherwise, how are we going to develop loving devotionals? Very important. And what will really satisfy the self? Prabhupada is saying here, devotional service must be unmotivated. Unmotivated. It's not like we are doing bhakti for some return. I keep saying this is business. It should be unmotivated. It is simply for the pleasure of Krishna. Simply for the pleasure of Krishna. And uninterrupted. Now, this uninterrupted can be understood in two ways. One level of uninterrupted, in the beginning, we say nityam. Meaning, you do today, you again do it tomorrow, again. Just every day continue. Don't do one day, then third day, then fifth day, then some other day. One day, 4 rounds, another day, 6 rounds. No. Now, first is just fixed and doing it every day. And then slowly we say, okay, increase the amount of time that we are giving for Krishna. And eventually, when we come to Vanaprastha, is after by the age of 50 or 55 or 60 maximum, we should be done with our material duties. And what are material duties? Simply to get our children married. That's all. End. Full stop. That is the end of our material duties. And after that, we should, by Krishna's mercy, if we have enough money to take care of our livelihood, we are done. So when we come to that stage, then it should be uninterrupted, literally uninterrupted. 24 hours we should be engaged in that. Only when we start moving in the direction of uninterrupted. So this is a goal for us. It's not something that we can achieve today. But as much as possible, we should keep going towards that. When I was working, my only goal was, okay, today I'm doing 2 hours bhakti. Okay, in next 3 months, I should be doing 3 hours bhakti. In the next, another 2 months, I should be doing 4 hours bhakti. So my only goal was to keep increase my amount of time that I'm giving for. And eventually it can become uninterrupted by Krishna, Guru and Krishna. So this is very, very important. So please remember this, the real occupation is actually bhakti, is actually loving devotional service, not our job, not anything else. Those things have to be done because it is our duty, but the real devotional occupation is bhakti. So Prabhupada actually in the purport says, this is the answer to the first question put forth by the sages which was, what is the essence of all scriptures? So what is the essence of all scriptures? This is the essence of all scriptures. Pure devotional service. Because actually Vedas prescribe pravritti marg and nivritti marg. Pravritti is path of sense enjoyment. Nivritti is path of renunciation. Path of enjoyment is inferior. Path of Nivritti is sacrifice for whom? For Krishna, for the supreme cause. It is superior. And so this is, and bhakti is sacrifice, because we are sacrificing, our whole existence, literally, right, for supreme cause. And Prabhupada in the purport also saying that unmotivated, see, generally sometimes we end up doing mixed devotional service. So there is pure devotional service and there's mixed devotional service. Mixed devotional service mixed with what? With material desires. Mixed with material desires. This is inferior. This is inferior. It is polluted. Understand that goal is pure devotional service, meaning without any self-interest. And the whole concept of devotional service is servant and served. I am the servant, Krishna is the person who is being served. And Prabhupada says that this relation is the most congenial form of intimacy. Beautiful. Most congenial form of intimacy, meaning if you want to become close to somebody, this is the best form of relationship with the Supreme Lord that will make us very, very dear to Him. On the material platform, this servant and all that is like seen low, low class. It's not seen very as important. But this servitorship of Krishna is actually what gives us the closest intimacy with Krishna. Because Krishna takes care of his servants with love, not the grudge, this guy, okay. Not like that. Not like the way we take care of people who come and help us out at home. All maids, servants. Half of the time we are, they are also like that, and we are also like that. We are also always grudging. Oh, this lady keeps taking off every now and then. Everybody is a human being. Everybody has their own set of problems. Everybody, and servants actually means that previously masters used to 100% take care of them. 100%. Shudra is completely taken care by whoever is serving. This is the most congenial form of intimacy because the master takes care of everything for the servant. So this is the beauty of devotional service, and only when it becomes uninterrupted does it completely satisfy us. So we should understand this. This should be our goal. We should not think, oh, I'm happy, I'm just doing chanting 2 hours. Prabhupada said, if you do 16 rounds chanting and 4 regulative principles, we are done, we'll go back to Godhead. We will go back to Godhead, but automatically when we are doing the 16 rounds, if we do offenseless chanting, naturally we will progress towards doing more devotional service. It doesn't stop. Bhakti is not like, okay, 16 rounds means 16 rounds. The effect of 16 rounds will then be experienced over 24 hours of our day. So some of this is like limited understanding. Initially also, I said, oh, okay, 16 rounds, okay, I'm done. I'm doing 16 rounds every day. I'm falling for it. Okay. Then you realized, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. Why? Because it is not uninterrupted. It is interrupted by so many tons of material duties. So like I said, we are not giving up material duties. Even like Yashoda Mata, this Damodar Leela, I said. Yashoda Mata was churning butter, she was singing Krishna's glories and she was lost. Work was getting done, but she was completely lost in Krishna consciousness. So whatever we do, we should do in Krishna consciousness, do our duties, but eventually come to Vanaprastha, get into uninterrupted devotional service. Uninterrupted means 24 hours, Dimag mein, there is nothing except and his service. So this is one beautiful verse. Now, next one. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Dhanetyashu Vairagyam Dhanam Cha Yadahetukam. Now, by rendering devotional service unto the personal Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires costless knowledge and detachment. So this is another beautiful verse. Many devotees chanting Hare Krishna for many years, but we don't seem to have developed any detachment from the world. People think, oh, no. Actually, Krishna consciousness is very nice. I go out for programs. I feel so happy. I eat prasadam. But then they also have all their material desires, and it's not decreasing. It's not decreasing, which means that we are not doing our chanting properly. Because here it said one automatically, immediately, actually it says immediately, first of all, not that it will take time. If we do proper devotional service, immediately we will acquire causeless knowledge. Now, what is this causeless knowledge? Gnanam. Gnanam is that I am servant, Krishna is the master, I have to serve. This whole world is illusory. My goal is to get out of this and engage in uninterrupted devotional service. Now, when we come to this platform, automatically, where is the question of attachment to things that are temporary and which are binding us, which prevent us from engaging in Krishna's devotional service? So obviously, we'll become detached from that. We'll become detached from everything that is binding us. I mean, this is the result of knowledge. And that knowledge doesn't come first. Many people say, oh, people have to do karma, then gnana, then bhakti. No, bhakti is independent. When somebody does bhakti, by doing bhakti, one gets causeless knowledge. One gets this gnana. And automatically he becomes detached. So here Prabhupada says, results of pure perfect knowledge is that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activity. See, again, we are not vairagis. We are not like gnanis. What they do, they just give up. They give up material stuff and then they don't know what to do. So then they again fall down. Now for bhaktas, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavajam rasoktisya param drishva nivartate. First is getting attached to spiritual activities. Once we get attached to spiritual activities, automatically we develop detachment from material activities. But for that, we have to engage in spiritual activities, and we should know detachment will come. But if suppose say I hold on to material attachment, then it becomes very difficult. And mostly people hold on to material attachment because they have not experienced the bliss of bhakti. So they still don't have confidence saying that by doing bhakti, I'm going to be happy. That is because they are having some inhibitions. They're not open-minded. They have not freely left themselves to be carried by the waves of devotional service. So we should, okay, devotee, somebody is calling, okay, come for program, come do this, do that. We should just wholeheartedly do. Only then we can experience the bliss of devotional service. We will say, come for this class. No, we'll give so many reasons. No, I don't have vehicle. Some reasons. Many reasons we give. That's not going to help us experience the bliss of bhakti. And when we don't experience the bliss of bhakti, we think that there is only happiness in the material world, on the material realm. So we continue our material engagements. And when I was working, I felt kicked about work that gives me happiness. That is because it's illusion. It's just an illusion that I'm becoming happy. I'm slogging like a ass out there, donkey. And I feel happy. Why? I'm working like a donkey for somebody else. Not for Krishna. For what? For getting one piece of bread. Like Prabhupada gives this example. Donkeys, they work so hard. For what? For some grass, which they think only the master can give them the grass. If they just look around here and there, they'll find so much of grass that they can eat. So like this, like really brainless, we just slog. What finally? Okay, I have money. Okay, time gone, age gone, energy gone, everything gone. And what will I do with money? That's not something that I'm going to take along. Neither is it going to give me bhakti. So total time wasted. So automatically we should develop attachment to spiritual activities, engage as much, chant every day, read every day, talk to devotees. If you don't get physical association, it's okay. Talk to devotees. But physical association is absolute critical. When I say physical, face-to-face, meeting people, meeting other devotees, working with them, engaging in services with them, that is the one which actually gives us bliss initially. And subsequently, yes, Chapa only gives us bliss. Or reading only gives us bliss. But initially, we need some other, factors. And I am always, even today after 10, 12 years of my bhakti, I'm always super happy to be meeting devotees. Super happy. Nothing gives me more happiness than that. And I look at every devotee and see how uniquely and everybody is so nicely engaged in Krishna bhakti. It gives so much of excitement, so much of energy to me devotees. So it's bhakti is in the hearts of devotees. Now, we might say, oh, okay, I give class. That does nothing. I mean, that has no bearing on person's bhakti. Somebody might be just washing pots, and he might have most love and affection for Krishna. That is required. So when we meet people, when we are in the association of devotees, we feel so nice. Okay, this person is not even well read, educated. So nicely he's chanting. So nicely he's doing services. That gives us inspiration, motivation to do more. So automatically then detachment will come. Automatically detachment will come. Prabhupada is saying this nivritti or naishkarma means not taking up activities which produce good and bad results, which means we should not do karma, normal karma. We should do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything for the pleasure of okay. So detachment should come. This is the key thing from this verse. Automatically and immediately it says detachment is to Dharma swanushthita pumsam vishwaksena kadasu yaha notpadayet yadiratim shama eva hi kevalam. Amazing, another amazing verse. See, please read the purports again. 1.2.6 to 1.2.10. Please read this verses translation purport again and again. I'm touching on very important aspects. I'm sure there might be other things. And when you read the purports, the impact it will have is different. Occupational activities a man performs according to his own position. Position means varnashrama. Like I said, varna dharma, purusha dharma, stri dharma are only as much, so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of personality. If whatever we are doing, if it is not provoking, meaning like naturally it is pushing us towards hearing. If it is not provoking attraction for shravanam, then shama eva hi kevalam, useless waste of time. Powerful. I mean, this is not Prabhupada saying, this is Shukadev Goswami saying this kind of useless labor, if it is not going to increase our attraction to Krishna, attraction to hearing about Krishna, then it is useless labor. Now, this is when we talk about, Sharanagati, 6 sanghas, and we say Anukulyasya Sankalpaha, Pratikulyasya Varjanam. This is Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Because if you are engaged in occupation, sometimes, it's very simple. Like we want 10 rupees, but we are earning 100 rupees. But we are happy earning 100 rupees. If that 100 rupees is not provoking attraction to Krishna, then that means that it's okay if we bring down that 100 to 80. This is surrender. And when we do surrender, Krishna will not only, he will still continue subsequently to give us 100 if required. That is his prerogative. But if that 100 is not giving me attraction to Krishna and 80 will give me, then it's okay to downgrade. This is for those who want Krishna, For otherwise, it's okay. We can go gradually. See, but this is the beginning, like 2nd chapter of Bhāgavatam. Powerful verses these are. You have to meditate on these. Think that what am I doing with my life? Is this going in this direction? The way I'm living life, am I obligated at this point of time? Financial responsibilities, etc. Okay. Then pray, Krishna, if you give me mercy, then I will be able to progress in this direction. For those not, but by choice doing something which is not provoking attraction to Krishna message, which is not giving you time to do devotional service, etc. It's a call. It's a decision. Again, these things don't have to happen overnight. These things don't have to happen independently. Please consult a senior devotee who is practicing bhakti and whom you think has the maturity to help you take a decision. Then decide these things. For I decided to leave my job, I wrote to my Guru Maharaj, saying that, this is my material, full detail. What is my material situation? Then I I asked his instruction. I said, I want to dedicate my life to Prabhupada. Should I do it? Does it have your blessing? Immediately Maharaj saw that email and he said, Shubhasya Shigram. And then it took me 3.5 years to get out of my work still after that. Because I was in a senior position, company did not want to leave. Corona came and rescued me. So we should, otherwise we should understand that it's useless labor. And really, many people came and said, why don't you take up some consulting, you've done senior management roles, why don't you do this, do that? I said, well, I'm not interested. I'm done with all that. It doesn't give me happiness. This is where happiness is. I want to sit and study Bhagavatam. I want to speak about Bhagavatam. This is what gives me. So, and this was just a desire. Why I'm saying, because I started off with a desire. My desire was I want to do full-time devotional. And I read these verses. Now, it took me like many years because it has to manifest this, cause this mercy. But if we don't desire at all, then what will we do? We will be stuck in material stuff. How useful is it going to be for us? We continue to remain stuck. So Prabhupada is saying, without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with emolument of the body and mind. So all of this money, prestige, position, dhandaulat, all this is just for the body and mind. It's not for the soul. Soul is not going to be happy with any amount of material possessions. You understand? A need of the spirit soul, Prabhupada says, is to get out of this limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill desire for complete freedom. Amazing statements. Complete freedom. Krishna Bhakti means complete freedom, real independence. So karma are activities of the body, gnana are activities of the mind, and bhakti are activities of the soul. So real occupation is bhakti. Soul's needs have to be fulfilled, and the need of the soul is bhakti yoga. Amazing. So much clear, crystal clear versus crystal clear purports. Now in two verses, now even if we are engaged in any other occupation, what is it? How should we live? So this is again super practical guidance for all of us who are working and earning money. Dharmasya hyapavargasya narthorthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. And when you say liberation, this is not merging into Krishna. This is devotional service to Krishna. All occupational engagements. Now, specifically, this is about vritti that you are doing. It should be for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Whole world is working only for this. Here, instruction is we should work so that we can actually achieve Krishna. Work should not be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate devotional service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So even if there is material gain, we should not use it to cultivate sense gratification. Cultivate meaning keep feeding, increase. I want this, I want that. Okay, till yesterday I didn't have enough money to buy this. Now today I got that, so now I'm going to buy that. After some days, I get some more money position. I now can buy something else. People start with Maruti 800, then slowly progress, and then they want to keep going, saying till I buy BMW. And then maybe something else. There's no end to it. So clearly it's saying you're earning money. You should not anyway be focused on material gain, but if you're getting material gain, you should not use it for sense gratification. Then what should we use it for? We should use it so that it will ultimately bring us to Krishna, which means that money should be used for maintenance and money should be used for prachara, preaching, for helping Krishna conscious activities. Donations should be made. And this is another major thing that helped me. I used to, just donate. I never think left, right, and just keep donating, whatever. And then Krishna gave me also, he pulled me out of material entanglement. So this is all secret. These are secrets, that when we apply only, we will know what the effect is. That is why yesterday I was saying that Vijnana, everything in that we hear in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we should try to apply. Because only then we will know the result. Oh, yeah, this actually works. So, doing charity is an absolute must for Grihasthas, as much as possible. We normally, we earn, if you earn 1 lakh rupees, then we will give 1,000 rupees to Krishna. Doesn't even scratch us, doesn't even pinch us anywhere. It's okay. I mean, it's better than not giving. But at least 10%. Especially for people who don't have responsibilities. People who have who are getting 1 lakh and everything is going, okay, that also depends, we have loans, what type of loans, etc. Anyway, it's a deep discussion. But the whole point is, we shouldn't keep cultivating sense gratification. Somewhere we should draw a line saying that, okay, this is enough for me. So yeah, most people in this material think that why should you work for earning money? And then so people don't want to retire. People say, no, what is the point in retiring? I'll waste my time because I want to earn money. If I simply sit at home, what is the use? Wasting time. Not wasting time, actually. That time has to be utilized for Krishna. Don't understand. So everybody is working. Yeah, that is why I say, in Kannada they say, Kaya Kabe Kailas. Work is worship. Work is worship. Meaning keep working throughout life. Till your last breath, you should be working. Then you are seen as, respectable. People say, no, see, if I stop working, my people at home they will disrespect me. Disrespect means those people actually don't have understanding. As when children were small, parents take care of them. And when parents grow old, children have to take care of them. What is the question about working to take care of ourselves? Ridiculous. So these are all just misconceptions or, things that we take support of just to support our cause, saying that I want to just work, waste my time. So Grihastha Dharma is given for such people who are so attached to work. They say, in Grihastha Dharma, you work. Purushas work, three take care of family. At the end of 55, 50, actually Shastra, but Kali Yuga, it made by 55, 60, finish your material duties, get children married, get into Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means 24 hours devotional. Husband and wife just engage together in service. They go to other holy places, go to Dham, go for Yatra, etc., etc. Just engaged in devotions. But we can't get to this. If we are cultivating sense gratification, then we will never be satisfied. We'll actually not even do bhakti properly. Then what is the point in developing love for Krishna? As in, what is the question of developing love for? No question. So we should not use material gain for sense gratification. Okay, in the last verse in this sequence, Kamasya nendriya prithir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jignasa natho karmabhi. Life's desires. So what kind of desires? Everybody has life, everybody has desires. So desires cannot be stopped. But life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. So we should not desire sense objects. What should we desire? One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, meaning I should be able to eat, I should have clothes to wear, I should have a shelter to live. That's it. Now, this can be 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 5 star, 7 star. That is our desire. But he says only a healthy life, meaning basic self-preservation. Prabhupada never said that, and see, bhakti, process of bhakti is not vairagis. We don't go on the street. Even, basic, decent life. And decent depends on, suppose we were born in a middle-class family, we will continue to remain middle class. Middle-class family, we were born, but we became rich. Doesn't mean that suddenly we say, okay, now my lifestyle is going to be rich. Some people are born rich, and they might continue to live rich. right? But rich because they don't have really that attachment to richness because they've been living like this lifestyle for all along. So it's not something great for them. It's just natural, So like that, whatever life situations we have got from birth, we just maintain it. That's it. We don't try to like raise it up. And Krishna consciousness will not pull us down also. Krishna will not bring us to the road. Whatever is our natural propensity of, how lifestyle, that will continue. That can continue. That's what this is saying. It's not that like person who's used to generally traveling in car suddenly says, from tomorrow I'm going to walk. Not required. If you have had a car all your life and that's how you're born in such a rich family and that continues, and that's fine. Then you don't think about how important that car is. You just use the car, but focus on devotional service. So we should only desire, of course, then when Vairagya develops in a person, he says, no, future. Don't need this BMW. Let me take us. But at least initially, we should not go behind increasing this. Maybe it can just remain as basic as possible according to our lifestyle. As in, when I say lifestyle, not acquired lifestyle. So this is another thing. We have a natural lifestyle, which is from birth, from the family in which we were born, how we were brought up, etc. And then there's an acquired lifestyle. Acquired lifestyle is artificial. That just depends on whether we progressed in life. So I acquired something which I never had in my childhood. That is not going to keep us happy. So we go back to our roots. So only desire should be this, since a human being is meant for inquiry. So preservation, because if you don't preserve body and soul together, how can there be inquiry? So that is why this is also very important. Devotees should not neglect their health. If you have some chronic conditions, we should find solutions. Find solutions meaning we should try to find solutions. And Krishna will be merciful and he'll say, okay, this person wants to engage in my bhakti, so let me give mercy. Even if it is our karma phala to suffer, sometimes Krishna will take it away. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. So it's very, very clear. We work not for money. Even if we get money, we don't engage it in sense gratification. We only desire healthy life for self-preservation. This is the secret of how work. And if we work in this way, we will get Krishna. We will get Krishna. Okay, so Prabhupada in this purport is talking about sense gratification. And he says satisfying senses only in so much as required for self-preservation. We should satisfy senses only as much as required for self-preservation. And because the body is made of senses, it also requires a certain amount of satisfaction. There are regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses, but the senses are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. Prabhupada specifically says, for example, marriage or the combination of a man with a woman is necessary for progeny, but it is not meant for sense enjoyment. The other day I was telling somebody saying that, what is illicit sex? Illicit sex even means having relationship with wife, not for producing children. For that is sense enjoyment, it is considered illicit. Then somebody, objected saying that, why you are saying like this? You are like, people will run away from bhakti. I said, see, I am not saying this. I'm not creating any of this. This is what is there in the Shastra, I'm just telling. Because that is sense enjoyment, and we are not supposed to. And it is not considered legal. This whole business of contraceptives came only in recent times. Previous times, that is why people at football team size families. Yeah, if there is drive, sexual drive, then produce children. Then automatically the drive will come down, because how do I maintain so many people, so many children? So then, then they used to say, okay, then we have to keep our automatic self-sufficiency. So it's saying, Prabhupada is saying, in the absence of voluntary restraint, is a propaganda for family planning. But foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is search after the absolute truth. So Prabhupada is saying, forget about all this. Just engage in bhakti. Automatically, your desire for all these, things will reduce. Why? Because seekers of absolute truth are always overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth. So many questions, answers, no time. Ultimately, it is looking, it is devotional service which is going to make us happy and nothing else. This we should understand. Everything else has to be only to support, take us closer to Krishna and not take us away from. Okay, so with that I will stop here because this is a sequence of verses, and then next verse is talks about Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, which we'll take up. If anybody has any questions, you can ask. Bhagavatam, Jai Jagat Guru.